Hey everyone, Lil Post Nasal Drip here. Big announcements time. I'm going to be doing press at two of the biggest DIY festivals of the year. SPI Fest 2024, May 17th and 18th in Windsor, Connecticut, and Fochella 7, June 14th and 15th in Bowling Green, Ohio. I am so beyond excited to have been invited to both of these festivals. Thank you to Ska Punker International and Connor Shack for letting me come out. The only thing about these events that are a problem is the fact that they're both out of state and I am currently unemployed. But fear not, citizens, for I have a way that you can help me out. The first is, of course, supporting the CUDDLEPUNK Podcast Patreon at either the $3 or $5 a month tier. Thank you to our current patrons, Andrew Brummel, Julia Broman, Jack, Tara Hallett, Susan, and Gail Mack. Also, if you'd like to make a more sizable donation to my travel expenses, both my Cash App and Venmo are in the description. These festival bookings are the surest sign I've had so far that this show is truly starting to take off, and none of that would have been possible without the support of you, the viewers who watch every single week, like, comment, share the episodes. Everything you do is helping the show to move forward. And now on with this week's episode. Hello, gamers. Welcome back to another episode of the CUDDLEPUNK Podcast. I am your host, the Mastermind Veronica Vext. I am drinking my delicious water with all of the berries in it instead of ice because we need to keep it fruity because I've got three of my favorite fruits here. Cat and the Hurricane are here from Madison, Wisconsin. They're back on the show. Cat and the Hurricane, how we doing, y'all?
Woo!
Feeling fruity.
Amazing, yeah. Seconded.
That's the best way to be feeling. So, since we've last talked, you guys released your cover of Stay by Rihanna and Mickey Echo. You guys released the single On My Way Back, and you released the deluxe version of your album Libra. What influences have you guys been pulling for the newest stuff that you've been putting out?
That's a great question. Well, Ben, yeah. I mean, as far as like the newest stuff that we're planning to put out.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like, I don't know. We are pulling, I think, from a lot of like our childhood, maybe cringe adolescent era, like the aughts pop punk era, and like the dad rock, and like how can we make dad rock queer? I feel like that's like the vibe we're going for.
These are the questions that we need answers to.
Yes.
Like dad rock, but the dad is like a trans mask like guitar player. Like that's
It seems like that resonates with you.
I would argue that's a little better than dad rock, but dad rock's got some hits.
Yeah.
I would say.
I don't know. So it's like, because we've used the tagline sad lesbian music for many years. And our Libra project that we just did the deluxe version of earlier this year is like the epitome of that. It's like very like longing. It's very like crooning and floaty and like very sapphic. And I think we still have those influences. But yeah, I think we're like kind of turning it now. And like, what other genres can we take over and make sapphic?
Yeah, since our Sorry EP, where we had a little bit more like upbeat, rockier tracks, like Sorry That I'm Like This and Out of My Mind, I feel like the kind of phrase we've been using around like songwriting has been like, how can we cathify this? Like to turn into like that upbeat kind of synth rock element that we're also known for in terms of sad lesbian music. So yeah, I would say that On My Way Back, the latest or the last like original single, that, well, and not counting the Libra stuff, but before that, I would feel like was like a really, really good pivot, at least publicly, into that direction. So yeah, feeling good about that.
A little bit of everything, keeping it eclectic.
Mm-hmm.
That all sounds amazing. I know you guys, I feel like I had heard at some point that you guys were trying to step away from the like sad lesbian music thing. Like just kind of having it. I get that it can be like, listen, I changed my name from Dumbest Girl Alive to the Mastermind recently. Like there's a thing of like, it is like, as much as you are like leading into it and owning it, it is still kind of like defining you in a way that isn't the best.
Yeah.
At least for your own mental health.
Yeah, absolutely. We tried to pivot for a minute from sad lesbian music to trans mask anxiety core, and we got immediately yelled at for that because we were trying to appropriate anxiety culture.
Yeah.
So we're
No. We're going into that. You've brought tea to the podcast here. I want to know who the hell was getting on y'all, the three of you, Kat, Alex, and Ben, for daring to appropriate anxiety.
Honestly,
it was a nondescript 16-year-old on the TikToks. That's all.
Oh, then fuck it.
Yeah, like I totally get it. Like speak your truth. Like
Yeah.
go for it. And
Yeah.
also like it's a little bit of like, oh wow, buddy, if you only knew who you were talking to,
like we literally have 15 plus years on your anxiety.
Yeah. You'll get there.
You'll get there. Yeah.
It's like our anxieties are like seniors in college, you know, like
our anxieties can almost drink.
Our anxieties. Our anxieties.
Our anxieties.
Let's reference like another TikTok where we, our producer made a remix of "Out of My Mind" and it's just my anxiety, my anxiety, and. Yeah, you can find that somewhere on TikTok, I bet, but that's just like the soundtrack of my life.
I fucking love it. Moved on from sad lesbian music, moved on from trans mask anxiety core. What's the Alphabet Mafia name for the new stuff?
What was what was the sapphic
something? I think we used like they coded synth rock on one of our bios.
There was ecstatic something.
Oh, ecstatic sapphic.
Yeah, it's the ecstatic sapphic music. I don't know.
Oh, that's
what, did I just make that up? There was
someone said that.
There was something like that.
I don't remember where.
And
it was a person.
I'm here for
IRL.
It. Yeah.
I feel
possible idea for y'all. Transmanic.
Whoa. Okay, I like that.
I feel like we do still use the every genre, every gender. Like we use that a lot in like when we're because. I mean, it's fun. It's okay. No, it's fun to say genre and gender because like the alliteration, but also I personally, and I think we all are kind of in this boat, but feel similarly about both. Where like they're both just words that I feel like we have to come up with to describe them, but I'd rather just not most of the time because like genre is such a confusing thing to me because I'm like we're using words that don't mean anything anymore. Like, oh, I'm alternative. We're indie. Like, we're indie rock. Like, that literally could mean anything on such a wide spectrum. Yep. So, I don't know. I feel like we use that just to say, like, we're going to pull from a lot of different influences. And there's going to be continuity between it because we are the musicians that we are. So, it's going to sound like us. But, I don't know. We're not, like... I feel like saying post genre is just as cringe, but like we're trying to just like find ways to describe like, hey, this is the music we make. We still have to find words to describe how it sounds so that people kind of know what they're expecting.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
We do it because we have to. Otherwise it just gets lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
Like, well, what are you?
Yeah. Like
what are you?
What station do I put you on? Like what playlist do I put you on? Like I did come up with in the tour van. I have really liked this one, which is just what if the Killers and Paramore were gay for each other.
It's that one.
So that's kind of like
thoughts.
I can see it. it. That's hard.
Yeah. Motion City and Paramore or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're in a little bit of a season right now of like trying to figure out like what the next thing is.
What we always say is that there are as many sexualities as there are people on the earth, and I feel the same way about music. There are as many genres as there are. Same thing. So fill in the blank of like, what you want it to be.
I like Transmanic. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's super good.
I'm at a point right now where I kind of want to just post this episode in like a right-wing subreddit just so we can get our views up by having people react to us.
Oh my gosh.
This will make we would make their brains melt doing what we're talking about right now.
Yeah. Also, are you trying to like spike our anxiety? Just kidding.
Hey, if it gets the music out faster.
Yeah.
You guys are in like what you were describing of like trying to figure out where your sound is right now. Is that part of the reason why you decided to, rather than put out like a full new EP or like just go straight into the full album, you decided to put out the deluxe version of Libra?
Yeah, also, and we honestly feel like Libra really never had its time like to shine because that was COVID time. Like that was initial shutdown. We were about to go on tour. We were about to drive around the country and play those songs for people, and then we couldn't. And so it felt like I mean, yeah, it just felt like an opportune time on like the 4-year anniversary of that to just like repackage it and then add a couple of other, like we did a radio ad obviously, but then Stay also feels like it's from that that era, because that was the first cover that Ben and I ever like worked on together. So it felt appropriate to just put something out. And it's been a while since we had put something of a full EP out, because the last one was obviously the Sorry EP. Yeah. So it was really easy to do because we already had the material all packaged ready to go. We just had to zhuzh it up with 3 extra tracks, and I think it's really nice because we can say that that's like our first full length album, and it is and isn't at the same time. But it's a nice little like it's like a little time capsule for people to see of where we were in 2020 into where we're at now, because there's a version of Walls on it that's like, we just recorded that live at the end of last year, so people can see where it started from and where it is now and how it sounds live.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, there's like some closure to it too, because we are about to enter into this new era of like putting out a lot of new music. And so we wanted to, I guess, like look back and put the cap and say like, this was an era that, you know, really kicked off our career, and now I feel like we are going new places sonically. So it's like saying this is still part of our sound. Let's appreciate that. Let's let it have its moment. And now we're kind of going a new direction.
I feel like people still don't super take into account how much the like lockdown and everything like really screwed over more independent musicians, because on the pop side of things, like you had these big albums that were still coming out because they had been recorded in 2019, 2018, and you could like everybody's dropping new tracks because they can just record them in their like mansions basically, and they can get like new stuff out immediately, and there's already like a huge group of people who want to listen to it. I remember January 2020 was when I first got into the band Spanish Love Songs with their album Brave Faces Everyone. That album should have been everywhere in 2020, and they had a bunch of huge tours booked, and then all of them ended up having to get canceled.
Yeah, it really throws off the cycle, because like even like smaller bands, like you have to be thinking ahead, like when you're recording, and the recording process takes a while, and then like prepping to release something, and if you're planning to do tours, like that takes at least several months to go through all of that. So yeah, I don't think people necessarily realize like how the calendar of like music shifted, and I feel like even still is like getting back on its feet. So yeah, definitely a weird time.
Definitely, yeah.
I want to go back to, you guys were talking about your cover of Stay by Rihanna and Mickey Echo. What about that song? Because it's the only cover that you guys have out publicly available right now. What was it about that song that like that Kat and Ben, you both gravitated towards in order to like, what was it about that song that made you guys want to cover it?
Yeah, well, I really like Mickey Echo. The album with Smile on it, there's a song called When I Rise. I don't know, just have a genuine fascination with the vocals of Mickey Echo, and just I don't know, it's just that is such a it's just like not, it's unique in the way that it's not a Rihanna song. Like that's not Rihanna's song. It's Mickey Echo. Mickey Echo was the one who chose Rihanna to like, you know, do the collab, and it's like a very I would say delicate song. And I don't know, when we first started, you know, practicing together, you know, it's always good because Ben has a whole wheelhouse of covers, and like I would do covers too, but it was like it was one that I thought would work well with like a collaborative side of it, because you know Ben could do the Mickey Echo vocals, and then I could do the Rihanna vocals, and then I mean we just have a really tight harmony that we've been working on since 2018. So there's nothing specific except that it's a really popular song and people really like it. And I think for bands, when they're putting out content, like pick a cover song that, you know, really resonates with you. And then, cause like for YouTube purposes, like when people put out cover songs, that's how a lot of people get noticed, you know, in a sense of like, oh, this band covered one of my favorite songs. Now I'm going to go check out the rest of the wheelhouse. So
because that I feel like helps place you in a musical context more than like going back to the earlier conversation than like a genre word, because it's like this is what I pick that resonates with me. I feel like that says more to me about a person than like that they call themselves indie pop or whatever, because like that song we were playing it, like that was 2018, like we were playing it long before we recorded it, and so it was part of our live set for a really long time, and like we had only been playing together for like maybe 6 months or something when we put that arrangement together. And so I think it captures like like the harmonies, because it was happening the same time that we were putting the Libra album together, those songs. And so that same process of like Kat brought these songs to me and like, what can we add to this, how can I add like sparkle to it, how can we make it sound, or like how can we like finish this and turn it into a record, and Stay was like part of that era. So I feel like it's just it's about how the songs that resonate you say something about your artistic, and the other songs that we play live that we cover is very eclectic too. I mean, we have a Harry Styles song, we got a Fleetwood Mac song, Amy Winehouse,
got some
like
80s,
Kim Wilde,
Kim
80s,
Wilde, so it's kind of all over the gauntlet.
If we're talking about covers and like intentions and everything, I figure I might as well ask, what was your guys' thoughts on the Luke Combs cover of Fast Car that came out last year?
Oh man. Well, I really appreciate that he really appreciated the song.
Yeah,
at first I was like,
yeah.
oh, of course this guy is gonna cover the song and then it's gonna get the recognition of like this generation gets to hear it. But no, like to know that he actually genuinely listened to it like nonstop on repeat when he was a kid growing up. So I really appreciated that, and now, she's getting her bag because of it.
Right, like she
Right,
had to say yes to it.
Yeah,
like she said no.
They
like
performed at the Grammys together.
Yeah, like
I don't know. It
know.
was so good. Like, and she got to perform again.
Yeah,
like, and it was such a good performance.
Like, I understand the I guess critique that like this white dude who sings country music is like getting recognition for this person's song, but I think that's a little reductive because it's missing the part where like she was involved in that process too. Like she's also like, this is also her song, like his version is still her song that she still gets royalties off of. She still like consented to him recording it and all of that. So it's, I guess, like more exposing another generation to Tracy Chapman. So like that's a win too.
Yeah,
that's always what the most important thing is. There's a guy I watched called Todd in the Shadows who did a whole video about that song when it was like first getting to, when it was first like climbing the charts and everything, that cover. And he pinpointed the thing that I think would have ruined the entire song if he didn't do it. The fact that he kept the line "working the counter as a checkout girl," that could, if you had changed that, if you had like Santa buddied that shit, we would have had a problem.
Yeah,
definitely. So
gotta keep the lyrics the same. Like honestly.
Yeah.
It means more. It just means
hearing
more.
Luke Combs sing the checkout girl line, that's what sells it for me. Yeah, honestly.
He just loves the song. That's really what it comes down to. You've been touring a bunch and you've been playing with a bunch of really, really cool bands, specifically in the Chicago and Midwest scene. Who have been some of your favorite people to tour with?
Well, Maria and the Coins was a recent weekender that we did. Maria and the Coins from Minneapolis. They're just sweethearts. I would tour with them.
They're so cool.
I would tour with them beyond 2 dates, you know. Who else?
That's such a good question. I feel like
you guys jumped on the Disaster Kids show. You had the OK Cool tour that you guys jumped on.
Yeah.
I found Gold Girl because of you guys the like first time that I saw y'all.
Yeah, the Golden Bagger show.
Right.
That was such a good show too.
Yeah,
that was good. I feel like my list of like, especially Chicago bands that I want to play with is like so long because there are a bunch of bands that we're friends with and like have always wanted to play with, and we just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
But anyway,
No, Chicago is so good to it. Like, OK Cool came up to Madison and we played with them.
That was fun.
We've never played with Pink Squeeze, but we're always like passing chips in the night, you know. And like Calico Loco, they're besties. Like,
we actually did get to play with them in Madison. Which was really great.
Trying to get Chicago bands to come up here too, because Madison is like, we don't have a lot of great venues, but there is a good music scene and like people who love music here. So
I've been spreading the good word of Madison since I interviewed y'all.
Good.
Yes.
Tropical Madison, Wisconsin.
Amazing.
No, it's like they're like, if people, because it's not that far away, right? So if there are bands in the city that want to like, you know, build their circle a little bit outside of Chicago, it's a good place to come. And Milwaukee too. So it's cool that we've had 3 or 4 bands probably from Chicago that we've helped come up here and play a show, which has been awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like oh god, who was that band we played with the last time we played the Subterranean? Brand new to us, Dogbot.
Dogbot?
Dogbot.
I want to talk about Dogbot real quick because that show had something that I've never seen happen. The amount of people that were in that room for Dogbot that were not there by the end of the show, I've never seen anything like that in my entire life.
They were
so good.
People, they had people who like were singing all the way.
Yeah.
Like that was that energy was, and they were so good. I didn't know them before the show. They just got added to.
They were sweethearts,
But
and they
so
were like
sweet.
fangirling over us, and we're like, stop.
Because also likewise, and they invented lesbianism. So we have that.
They did invent lesbianism. That is the thing that we have to remind everybody about.
We are indebted.
They invented girls kissing, and it just wasn't a thing before that.
I can never thank them enough.
So really, really loved that. That show was also like the whole lineup was really, really fun. Disaster Kid was awesome, and
Billy Joel Jr.
Billy Joel Jr.
They were fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole night was
Also,
it was a really good lineup.
I love that name.
Exactly. I was curious the minute they got added to the show. I was like, I cannot wait to see this show.
I wanted to be Billy Joel, and it wasn't any Billy Joel, so
but
can't have it all.
It was still like on the level. It was still really good.
We're talking about Madison. You guys received the Artist of the Year award from the Madison Area Music Association. Talk about the association itself and then what it meant to receive that award.
Oh boy.
Ooh, so the Madison Area Music Association, or the Mamas, as they're called, it's a local organization that their whole mission is making music music education and music instruments accessible to school-age children. So like we have a very, very dedicated music scene. Like Madison is a very musical city. They care a lot about like the arts. And so it's really cool to have an association like that. They put together this really cool awards thing every year too. We were super honored because we got to play that show. And this was kind of our debut to at least this side of the Madison kind of music community. Probably we hadn't played for this specific crowd since the Libra era, really. So it was before the pandemic. And there of course were a ton of people like who we played shows with recently, or like have been to our shows recently, but it was like I feel like we were really playing to that crowd, and it was really cool. But anyway, we did not expect winning that award at all. We were up for a couple other awards as well.
4 things, and we walked away with 3 of them. And so
fucking Billie Eilish over here.
For the Artist of the Year,
and the anxiety has spiked again.
It was. So speaking of that, anxiety-inducing was watching the countdown because
this was awful.
They were doing like an elimination style.
Like it was this
So there were 20 of the 20 bands, all friends of ours. We're all in the same room together.
It's
we're
a small
like,
city.
we're like all rooting for each other, and they just kept like one slide was like, all right, 19 bands. The next slide was like 18
people getting voted off the ad.
What the fuck?
It's so mean.
And it's an award show, and so like we played there were like sets that bands played, but like a lot of people were like sitting because there's a little bit more of that vibe.
It was like
but not us.
Black tie affair.
Like, we're all standing in the corner, like every slide, being like,
we are
like hanging on
drawing
each other.
attention to ourselves, no doubt. And we're of course standing right next to members of like one of the bands that ended up being like it was just between them and us.
And they'd won before.
And they won so many times before. And they're like they're fantastic friends of ours, but they're also like unbelievably talented musicians.
What's the band?
Legends. They're called Work.
WURK.
They're so good. A little bit of a like jammy kind of
jazz fusion.
Rock.
They're unbelievable. So anyway, when it ended up being us, there's video like people like filmed our reaction to it. Like you could just tell we did not think this was gonna happen.
We had no chill.
And we didn't have any chill. We were just like,
because it got down to just the screen being like the 5 and then 4. We're like, and then it just said like Work and Cat in the Hurricane, and we're just like our friends.
No, we were going like, oh no.
No, yeah, that's right. We did say that. Like out loud.
And there's like people looking over at us that are, because it's like, it's a nonprofit, right? So like a lot of these people are like donors and they're there just to like support the mission. And like, who are these nerds that are like freaking out? We're just like, oh my God.
Yeah. So it was wild. Thank
Who are
God
these homosexuals with their joy?
Literally.
Exactly.
And then someone was like, our friend was like, they like said Cat in the Hurricane. I'm like, go up there to like accept it, but then we weren't supposed to go up there. So then we were just like,
no.
We're just like,
and thank God that would not have been a good moment.
But it would have been hilarious.
I guarantee.
Yeah.
It would have been unhinged. To say the least.
Yeah.
So that's what happened.
Yes.
We're honored.
A huge honor. Like,
It's unreal. Absolutely unreal.
Hanging out with our good friends in the music community and that they appreciate us that much to vote us. But I guess like it makes sense because we have been absolutely grinding.
Yeah.
Like so it just like it makes sense, and I'm also still like in disbelief that it happened.
But it's wild.
Yeah, I just honored. It was really cool.
The awards are happening again here pretty soon.
Yeah,
so
soon.
We'll know what happened for this year.
I don't have to say it. Everybody listening knows this. You guys absolutely deserve the award. There's one last question that I have for y'all before we get into the bit. When we're talking about like the new sound and the new style of Cat in the Hurricane, we're still going to be getting the songs about assholes and being assholes, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Of course, we
Okay.
have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
We have
All
a lot
right.
to talk about in this coming era. So absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be talking about assholes. We are going to be talking about assholes. We got the bit coming up. It's going to be a good one.
Yay.
We'll
Okay.
be right back with more of the CUDDLEPUNK podcast. Welcome back to the CUDDLEPUNK podcast. I'm here with Cat in the Hurricane. We were just talking about how, despite the sound maybe changing a little bit with this band, the songs about assholes and being assholes are by no means going away. And the thing is that there's a whole lot of assholes to talk about. And so what we're going to do, guys, you guys don't know what's happening.
No.
What's happening is that I'm stealing content from somebody else. I have gone to r/am I the asshole.
Oh!
And I have found 3 music-based posts on r/am I the asshole. You guys are just going to jump in whenever you want to. And then when we finish each story, we're going to have like a bigger discussion. And then we'll decide if we think they're the asshole, and we'll reveal if Reddit thought they were the asshole. I'm sure you guys are gay. You watch Smosh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm ready.
All right, perfect. We know that was a joke, but I'm like, perfect. We actually know what we're doing here. Fantastic. All right, awesome. First story. Am I the asshole for listening to inappropriate music? So yesterday, I, 17-year-old male, was listening to music on Spotify with earbuds while doing some schoolwork. My mom walked by while I was changing the playlist and got annoyed/mad that the music I listen to is inappropriate. By inappropriate, she means any song that has swear words, which is most music I listen to. It started an argument because she says that by listening to dirty music, I am not following God or some BS. Like, I don't really care about God. I said this, then she started getting teary-eyed and walking away. Like, it's not like she could hear it. And who the fuck cares what music I listen to? I'm not 10. It's not like she is protecting me from learning what sex is or whatever. Am I the asshole?
Okay, I just have to report on the emotional journey that I just went through because of am I the asshole for listening to inappropriate music? I was like, no. And then I love that they always start with like me, 17 male. Anytime it starts with that, I suddenly flip. I'm instantly like, okay, you're probably
that's a good way to go about it, I think.
17 male. You're probably an asshole in some way.
Right.
And then I kind of jumped back. So that was kind of a roller coaster.
That was a roller coaster. Yeah, because I was like, well, what do we mean by inappropriate?
Yes,
Just swear words?
Yes.
Oh no. And it's just in front of your mom that one time? No. Yeah. Yeah, that could have been worse.
My dad one time told me that he didn't like the music I was listening to. It was a praise and worship band, but it was a woman singing. And I was like, why? And he was like, I just don't like the sound of their voice, so I can't listen to something else. I was like, wait, is there something wrong with this band? And he was like, no. And I was like, why don't you like her voice? He was like, I basically got him to admit that he doesn't like women singing. And here I am now, where I only listen to sapphic music.
Yeah, I feel like
Of course.
I had a conversation with my parents at some point, yeah.
But it was literally still like a worship
That's
band.
nuts.
I was like,
That's
okay.
nuts.
when growing up, I was never censored from listening to. Well, I mean, I'll say that my mom wouldn't let me watch Pink Floyd's The Wall because it was too, graphic and inappropriate. But I was allowed to listen to music, so I was never barred from like listening to dirty swear word music. Like it was in. Like I listened to Nirvana because my dad let me, and he let me listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers, and the list goes on.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're 17,
and I was younger listening to that kind of music, so it all
Yeah.
just depends on the parent. I feel I don't think this kid's an asshole. I
No.
think I don't know. As a teenager, you need to listen to all sorts of music. I don't know.
Figure out your own thing. I
Like,
guess.
don't
Yeah.
censor the kind of music that I listen to. That's just no. I don't think he's an asshole.
Yeah, swear words are just the least of one's problems,
Right.
honestly.
Yeah.
ultimately.
I think we need to. I think there needs to. My thing is that I think there needs to be a little bit more detail about what the music is specifically.
Like if
'Cause,
it's
like,
trapped, you're trash. But if it's like
Crap.
I don't know,
Like if this is like if this is like an opium kid where he's like listening to nothing but like fucking Playboy Cardi and Yeet and shit, then I might like he is an asshole, but for different reasons than his mom is saying that he's an asshole.
Like, is the conversation, and the reason I'm assuming this is not the case is because they brought God into it. But like, if the conversation is like, hey, you're 17, you're almost an adult, like you should be able to listen to what you want to listen to. Well, we should have a conversation if what you're listening to is like racist and misogynistic, and like have a conversation about like
actually harmful music.
Yeah.
Right.
But
like,
we don't know that context.
Yeah.
So asshole maybe?
I'm like,
I don't know.
probably not an
Probably
asshole
not.
for the
Probably not.
specific reason of this.
Probably an
Yes.
asshole for many other things.
Yeah.
though.
I mean, once again, 17-year-olds.
Teenage boys,
If that's
they're on
the
thin ice.
if that's the worst thing you're doing to piss off your parents when you're 17, like
You're doing
Okay.
pretty good.
Yeah,
honestly.
right?
You're doing pretty okay.
You're doing pretty good, and you might be gay.
then you might be gay.
Honestly.
Maybe.
Next story. First off, we all agreed not the asshole. Reddit also agreed with that. This person is not the asshole.
Just assuming.
God's the asshole.
Second story. Am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend if she could play more normal music at home? My girlfriend has an eclectic music taste that we had a big argument about last night. This is not good already.
Yeah, wow.
Buckled in.
Strap in, folks. Strap in,
Yeah.
strap on. We live together and have a great sound system in the shared areas of the house, kitchen, living room, dining room, etc. And when I play music, I usually put on an album or two to listen to straight through. My girlfriend likes to put on playlists, and last night she put on, in this order, I honestly just have to write out this playlist because it's that crazy. Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks, a very country song. Then The Thiping Magpie by Rossini, an intense classical music song. Then Pink Rover by Scene Queen, a weird metal pop mix. Then Dangerous by Cascada by a 2000s pop song. Then Dogma by KMFDM, this metal electronic song with spoken word lyrics. After that point, I asked her if she could just pick one playlist or album. This person sounds amazing.
The person who is bothered by this playlist obviously does not have ADHD.
Yeah.
They're not neurospicy.
Yeah.
Or maybe they are.
Or maybe they
And
are.
maybe that's why
They're
they
both
need a whole
neurospicy
album.
in different ways.
Oh, two different types of neurospicy.
Right,
Two different types of neurospicy,
It's-
definitely.
yeah, it's doing
It's
this.
button heads.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
After that point, I asked her if she could just pick one playlist or album, or at least something more normal, and put it on because her music was kind of all over the place. She said that she was playing a playlist she made, and that is what she wanted to listen to while she was doing chores. I, kind of joking around, but also a little annoyed, asked what kind of playlist it was because it seemed unhinged. She was like, it's my,
Rude.
I'd like to make a statement real quick. Unhinged is a word for the gays.
Yeah.
No straight man should ever be saying unhinged to describe anybody. That's our shit.
Yeah, if you like, and if someone said your playlist is a little unhinged, I'm like,
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, I'm
that might be a
curious.
compliment. Okay,
Yeah.
Continue.
She was like, it's my cleaning playlist. It's just good music to get up and move around or dance to. Like high energy stuff, you know? I was like, there's girly pop, classical music, and industrial noise in there, though. And she was like, yeah, that's some of what I like. I asked her if she could put on something a little less chaotic, and she said she was cleaning our kitchen. The least I could do is not talk shit about her music taste. I was like, but you've got to realize it's a little out there, right? And she was like, nah, these are all bangers. Why are you being such a dick? I don't talk shit when you want to listen to the same 3 bands every day.
Oh no.
He went there, and so did she.
Yep.
To be fair.
Yeah.
You got to expect the clapback. She was getting really annoyed with me, so I dropped it. And then she played another hour or so of honestly the most random playlist I've ever heard. I feel kind of conflicted because on one hand, her music was weird AF, and I feel like it's just common courtesy to play stuff that's at least kind of chill and could be background music in a shared space instead of like the most intense or weird song from every genre possible. But on the other hand, I kind of got the impression she doesn't love my music either and just never said anything till I did. Am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend to put something more normal on? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's the way that you use the word normal that I don't love.
Normal.
either.
Because like, what's
and
normal?
unhinged and like
He could have.
No, this is a neurotypical versus neurospicy situation. After normal,
like,
we're
you
all in
have-
the same.
Like you have an autistic bisexual hottie girlfriend is what I'm
That's
hearing,
what it sounds like.
and
Honestly.
you just can't handle.
and why are you complaining?
This is this is a very specific kind of Am I the Asshole post where it should be a new subreddit called Why Am I Bitchless? Because you are fumbling the bag so hard, my guy.
Let her have nice things.
Right.
Let her listen to her silly
Why
little
don't
playlist. You go listen to your same 3 dad rock bands.
Yep.
See, the thing is, I'm both of these people. I have been both of these people because I get it. Like there are times when I'm like, I want to listen to an album and experience it, and I will give him the point that like, if you're you live together, you're sharing a space with someone, you want to figure out like what's the vibes when we're in the space
Put
together.
Put your headphones
That's
on.
fair, but
yeah.
you're the asshole for the way that he brought it up. Like
Yeah,
you're not,
definitely.
you don't have to have the same taste. And if you're like, my brain can't handle when we're switching, like I think that part's
makes sense.
valid. But like the way you
That's
bring it
not-
up to
yeah.
be like, can you be normal?
Yeah,
like
that's not okay.
like that is not.
Yeah. And just like criticizing the music itself,
Right.
and the playlist and like why she made it.
Like what is the vibe of this play? Like what is this playlist for? Like as
This
if
is
like,
the kind of guy who only saw Ramona Flowers' hair.
Actually,
yeah,
That's exactly what.
And that was the most interesting thing, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it was the blue hair.
Yeah, of course.
Until the music
Yeah.
happened, and
Until
then
the
he couldn't
music.
handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's the asshole. I think
sure.
he could have broached this same topic in a way that was less asshole.
Yeah.
But the way he did it was asshole.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Reddit agreed that they were the asshole. We're gonna go through some comments actually. Somehow another Reddit thread has turned into serial killer podcast recommendations.
Well, it always gets there somehow.
Here's one. My Spotify Wrap 2022 said I listened to 82 different genres this year. This dude would have a heart attack if he saw my playlists. I have everything from Nordic folk, Ukrainian rap, Europop, electro rock, alternative rock, symphonic metal, Scottish Irish folk, sea shanties, video game music, a couple Vocaloid songs, Disney soundtrack songs, etc., all in one playlist. You'll hear Diary of Jane immediately followed by a Lion King song. Ah, the gay butt rock fan. Very rare breed this is. I've been to those festivals.
Like, what
Yeah,
else
this is it's mostly just people talking about how like obscure their music taste is, which of course is turned into a circle jerk. It's Reddit, but yeah, everybody thought that they were the asshole. Everybody agreed they're the asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm just wondering what else is going on in their relationship if he's picking on the music, you know? Like weird. And it sounds like they had never talked about it before. So
Which is weird. How do you not immediately like bond over music?
yeah.
Personally.
Here are my 3 albums.
They're straight.
They're straight. Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she's listening to Garth Brooks followed by Industrial Noise. I don't think
No, you're right.
Yeah, and that would have been nice to make clear in the message of like, I'm straight, my girlfriend's whatever, whatever. So we have more context.
Right.
We do need our context, and if that person is bisexual and they want to swear off men forever, my links are all down in the description.
Hell yeah.
One last comment, actually. You're the asshole. Cleaner picks the music. Shotgun shuts his cake hole.
Yes.
That's
So that,
true.
yeah, because
That
like,
is how that works.
is he just hanging out? You don't have to hang
He's
out.
just
with
vibing.
You
Yeah.
really don't.
Your vibe is not more important than the dishes. All right,
What's gonna do?
last
man?
one.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for asking my wife to stop playing trashy hip hop music around our toddler?
Why are all of these about... Okay, continue.
Why- and
Because
also-
they're all about bad men.
It's all been men.
It's Reddit. It's Reddit.
I
It's
mean,
Reddit.
It's
this-
Reddit.
Yeah, I'm
Reddit too, but
remembering where we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I, 26-year-old male, live with my wife, 25-year-old female, and daughter, 2-year-old female. I have an eclectic taste in music. My wife, on the other hand, pretty much only listens to EDM and hip-hop. I'm okay with listening to those genres. I like to listen to good hip-hop at the gym. However, much of the hip-hop my wife listens to is trashy, like stuff by Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Young Thug. It's
Oh, so he's a misogynist.
I was like,
he's a sexist asshole.
I was like, define trashy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Define. Okay. Yep.
So we just don't like women's sexual empowerment.
listen, you're fucking you're listening to Death Grips at the gym when you could be listening to Death Grips while fucking. It's your problem. This goes into a thing that I've realized is that once you come out as a trans girl, everything that was douchey about you as a guy becomes instantly cooler.
Yeah.
Radiohead, Death Grips, Family Guy.
So cool.
Oh, no.
True.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Fucking Christ. I can tolerate her playing that music when our child was a baby, but now that she's a toddler, she's more likely to be more influenced by the music she hears. I don't want her to grow up listening to such trashy music and idolizing these trashy stars. My wife follows these people on Instagram and it irks me. I told her last night that our daughter is getting to an impressionable age and it would be better if she didn't blast her hip-hop music around her. I prefer to use headphones to listen to my music, but she likes to play it out loud. I don't mind that part because I know she shouldn't wear headphones when taking care of our daughter. I just don't want our daughter to hear that. However, my wife says there's nothing wrong with music she plays, and liking that type of music doesn't make her less intelligent or a bad person.
Thanks for clarifying
Sure,
that. Yeah.
but you still called it.
Sorry,
fat.
I've read ahead. I've read ahead accidentally. You guys aren't ready.
Oh no,
Oh,
it gets
no.
worse.
Yes, I have said that her music is trashy and rots the brain, but I never said it makes a fan of that a bad person. I told her she should listen to higher quality hip hop, like stuff by Usher, Neo, and early Chris Brown. What I was now.
First of all, that's
So
my
just
God.
men.
Choices
Just
were
men.
made.
And also, that's
But
a
those
different
just-
genre.
They can talk about
That
fucking.
too.
It's okay
That
when
too.
dudes talk about fucking in this music, but when it's a black powerful woman,
Chris Brown's
you
not
are
catchy at all.
threatened.
No,
Also,
No,
Chris
yeah,
Brown?
Chris Brown.
that doesn't rot the
That's
brain.
what? First of all, it's R&B. Second of all, Chris
Yeah,
Brown.
yeah, right.
That's not even like all
Not the
Neo,
same.
Usher, and Chris Brown. That is not the same genre whatsoever. We're talking
I was
like-
sure he was gonna be talking about like fucking A$AP Rock and Doom and shit.
right,
But
Sure, right.
Yeah.
like okay, that the way and the way it's sexualized and racialized and just okay.
Yeah. He's an asshole.
Yeah,
she
let's
told
get
me
let's
to
see how
just
big
let. She told me to just let her listen to whatever she likes, and that I shouldn't care if our daughter grows up to like her music. I didn't want to fight with her, so I let it go with her. However, I'm upset about her not compromising, and I'm sure it's obvious. My wife isn't all sunshine either since I brought up my request.
Okay.
I have a
Wow.
golden rule. If you don't fuck with Cardi, I don't fuck with. If you're a dude and you fucking hate Cardi B, I don't fuck with you.
Like if that's your go-to example, like, you know, for like trashy music or music that you shouldn't be influenced by, like, yeah, it's always the Cardi.
Oh, there's cats here. Hold on, we gotta pause.
Let's see.
He's
if
clutch,
he'll
right?
come
Come
up.
you wanna come up?
Like if you're gonna be like, don't listen to Nicki Minaj for different reasons, maybe. But for
Right.
Misogyny.
Yeah, we'll the Nicki of it all is like its own thing.
yeah, it's separate.
Right.
But if your alternative is Chris Brown, then we don't need
Yeah,
to
we
talk
don't need
about
to
that.
No. You fucked up conclusively. I honestly would have been more okay with him having suggested Eminem.
Yeah,
Yeah. Then Chris Brown and yeah.
yeah,
Sure, yeah.
that's why.
At least it's yeah.
Yeah, Eminem is literally closer in genre.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then Usher? How are you gonna compare Usher and Cardi B and be like, I'm okay with this kind of music, but just Usher.
They make the same shit. Like, here's a comment real quick. Usher's biggest album is loosely about how he cheated on his girlfriend and knocked someone up. I love Usher, but I think lyrically you'd have a hard time convincing me he's better than Nicki.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, Nicki has her flaws.
Certainly.
Nicki Minaj's horrible personality has not come into her lyrics until recently.
That's true.
that
That's
is
true. Yeah, that's a recent conversation, and but
She was a Stacy at first, and now she's become just the worst human being alive.
yeah. But the Cardi, that's what I'm like. If we can do,
Right.
if Cardi and Chris Brown, if we can put the conversation
Still
there,
unbelievable.
I'm like, what the
That's
fuck are we
unbelievable.
talking
Yeah.
about?
I have said this is gonna get me canceled. I've said before that I would give Cardi B a T pass. I'd give her the slur pass. She made Invasion of Privacy.
Send tweet.
Yeah.
You know what?
And with that, we can agree this person's an asshole. This has been so much fun. Cat and the Hurricane, thank you guys for coming on the show again. Where can we find you?
Thanks for having us. We're on
Everywhere.
all of the places. You can find our music. Search for Cat and the Hurricane. That's Cat with a K spelled out, and the Hurricane. We're on
TikTok,
Instagram, Facebook,
Patreon
Twitter as Cat T Hurricane.
Yes.
That's the only one that's different.
We have a Patreon if you want to support us that way. We're trying to be active. We're putting out a lot of new stuff this year, so stay tuned for that.
You can find all of Cat and the Hurricane stuff in the links down in the description below. You can also find links to all the places that you can find me and the podcast in the descriptions down below. That's the podcast, the CUDDLEPUNK Podcast, and me, your host, the Mastermind, Veronica Vex. If you like what you've seen so far and you want to help support the show, you can please pledge to the CUDDLEPUNK Podcast Patreon. You can get a bunch of cool stuff on there for only $3 or $5 a month. There's also a free option. Please leave a like on the video. Please comment down below what you thought of these assholes and whether you're excited for all of Cat and the Hurricane's new shit, as you always should be. The logo for the CUDDLEPUNK Podcast is done by Lauren Young. You could find her Instagram down in the description below. The theme song for the CUDDLEPUNK Podcast is Lose a Turn by Modify. You can find links to all of her stuff in the description down below. Cat, Ben, Alex, Cat and the Hurricane, thank you so much for being on this episode.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Good to see you.